Hey guys. Hello, hello. So excited to see everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to hang tight for a second while everybody is joining us. Can you guys hear me okay? Type in the chat. Let me know if you can hear okay and showing up on your screen. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Katika. Hey, Rita. Terry. Good to see you guys on here. Awesome. Thank you so much, Terry. You guys all new to the webinar? I'd love to know what brought you here. All right, I'm going to share my screen while we're waiting for everybody to get in. Whoops, it shared the wrong screen. Hang on. Let's do this one. All right. It's great. It's great. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much. Okay, awesome. All right, can you guys see the screen okay? Okay, thank you so much, Rita. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to dive right in so you guys can get all the information that you need. And while I'm getting started, I'd love for you guys to type in the chat and let me know, what brought you here? How long have you been in our circle? And why are you looking into starting a bookkeeping business? What's that primary driving, motivating factor for you as to, why you're even considering looking into this? So if you guys want to type that in the chat, that'd be really, really helpful for me. While you guys are doing that, I want to welcome everybody to our webinar. I appreciate you guys all joining me on this Saturday morning. And I am really excited to dive in and show you guys how you can take an exciting journey into business ownership and get to work from home, or if you want from the road even, and achieve your personal goals when it comes to financial location and time preferences as well. Yes, awesome. So been following for about a year. That's great. Great. Love this. Okay. Okay. So by starting a bookkeeping business, I'm going to show you guys how you can make a minimum of $5,000 per month and only have to work about 10 hours a week to complete all the bookkeeping work for those clients within just a few short months. You can get up to that. And this is possible really even if you work full time, even if you have kids at home, and even if you've never done bookkeeping before. So that's basically what this webinar is going to cover, how you can accomplish this, what it looks like as far as your roadmap is concerned, and then why is this even possible? Because a lot of people will look at this and say, that's too good to be true, but I'm going to break it down and show you guys exactly why that happens. So if this is exactly something that you're looking to accomplish for your family, then you are in the right place. So if you are new here, and for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Tiffany Higgins. I'm a CPA. I'm a mom of 5. And I founded the Stay-at-Home Bookkeeper Academy after experiencing all the wonderful things that happened to my family when I started my online at-home bookkeeping business back in 2015. So when I did that, I was able to work part-time from home and growing my business with my 6-month-old on my hip all the time, and even 2 elementary school age kids that were home a lot as well. And it was able to grow that so quickly, and it was relatively easy to do that, that actually within about 7 months of starting my business, I was able to cover all of our basic living expenses. So my husband got to quit his corporate job too and come home. And that allowed me to be able to, have to work less because he was there to help with the kids and I could power through my work and things like that. So he actually retired on Christmas Eve. So we just celebrated about 8 years of both of us being retired fully from corporate America, which was really, really awesome for our family. So I grew my bookkeeping business steadily over a few years until I was making about $200,000 per year. working part-time. When I say part-time, it means I very rarely ever worked even a full 40-hour work week, even at that, especially when it was calculating just the amount of time that I was spending doing the bookkeeping work. Sometimes I would work more if I wanted to take on new clients. I would do some extra marketing, but for the most part, I worked less than 40 hours a week throughout this entire journey, which was really awesome. And because of that flexible schedule and low time commitment, I was able to, give my family a lot of attention. And we ended up deciding to grow our family. I gave birth to twins and even had the capacity to be able to nurse them for 2 years, which, if you don't know much about nursing twins, it's a very time consuming and demanding process. And I was able to do that and still continue to grow my business at the same time, which was awesome. We even decided in 2018 to homeschool our older three kids, and we bought a different house in a different city and moved. So I was nursing twins, homeschooling my older three kids, and moving to a different city. And throughout this entire time, not only did my business stay the way it was, but it continued to grow. We continued to have organic growth with the business, which was really awesome. Obviously, I'm not going to say that all of that was easy, because even if you take the bookkeeping business out of it, just homeschooling three kids and nursing twins is hard all by itself. But we were able to accomplish all those things. It was important to us to be able to do that. And my husband and I worked together to be able to accomplish those things. And it was very, very doable to be able to do that. So, which was really, really exciting. And I'm excited to show you guys how you can do that as well. No matter if you have one kid, five kids, no kids, whatever your goals are, we're going to walk through how I accomplish this and how you guys can copy my success. So I would love for you guys to type a yes in the chat if you agree with these statements. Yes, I would love to work from home with reduced hours, but have more money coming in and be available to your family anytime they need you. So if you resonate with this statement, type a yes in the chat. Awesome. Great. You guys are in the right spot. So here at the Bookkeeper Academy, it's our mission to empower people to become financially independent without sacrificing connectivity with their families by offering the education and framework to launch their own bookkeeping business from home. So this is what we stand for. This is why we are here. And our motto is have your cake and eat it too. So we believe you shouldn't have to choose between being the parent you want to be for your kids and also being able to fully provide for them financially. So we don't choose. And on this call, I'm going to show you how you can have your cake and eat it too, be able to reach financial freedom for your family while being able to spend time with them on your terms. So I know a few of you have already told me this, but I'm curious who we have attending today as more people have trickled in. So if you've been on a live webinar with me in the recent past, type a 1 in the chat or a yes. And if you haven't, type a 2 or a no and let me know. I'd like to see how many new and returning people we have. All right. So not a lot of talking going on in the chat. That's okay. Thank you guys for commenting. If anybody is on here that's returning, welcome back, but it looks like most people are new, which is exciting. So if you're new, welcome again. We're going to go over lots of information here. I'll stay on as long as you guys have questions. Sometimes, just so you know, these webinars sometimes last till 12:30. It's 10:10 right now where I'm at. So if you have to pop off, you're doing something, that's okay. You can pop back on if you're able to, or if you can't stay throughout the whole time, that's okay too. My husband Sean is going to be texting everybody and getting them a copy of the replay, so that way, if you have any questions, you can rewatch some of this, and then you'll have a direct line to my husband that way as well. So if you think of any questions that you don't ask today, you can always text or call him, and then also feel free to hop back on these webinars anytime. I do them every Thursday and Saturday at 10 a.m. and happy to help you guys get all the facts and all the details that you need so you can make a decision for your family. And you're welcome to invite your spouse, significant other, anybody in your family that is going to help you make this decision. And also, if you know of anybody that would also benefit from starting their own at-home or online bookkeeping business, you're welcome to invite them as well. I do, again, love questions. So don't be shy if you guys have any questions at all. Challenge me. I love questions. If you're curious about anything, please just dump it in the chat and I'm happy to answer those questions. Transparency is one of our core values here at the Stay at Home Bookkeeper Academy. So I'd love to be able to clear up any question or confusion that you might have about getting going in a bookkeeping business or about our program. And we can address that for you. So just so you guys know what today's call is going to be about, here is the agenda. The first thing I like to do is go over the investment. I know that for me, if I'm thinking about investing into something, I want to know what I'm looking at first, and then I want to know all the facts of how am I going to get my return on investment second. So I'm going to do that for you guys too, show you what the investment is into our Bookkeeper Academy program. I'm also going to talk a little bit about our this new lender that we're able to offer our students, where 100% of everyone is approved on the smallest payment plan that we've ever offered for the Bookkeeper Academy. And this is something that you can get approved for even if you have no job or bad credit. So this business can really take, people in tough situations and help them turn their life around, even if you feel like your back's against the wall. So we're going to be able to help you guys with that, and I'll go over all of those details. Then the second thing that we're going to go over is your goals, because if you know what your goals are, then from there, you're going to be able to understand exactly what the roadmap will look like to how to reach the goals for your business. So that'll help me transition into the third section of this, where I'll be able to show you why a bookkeeping business is ideal for your family and how you can utilize it to help you reach your goals. So let's see, I got to change one setting here. Maybe it's on this side. Can't remember here where this is. I don't know. Can you guys still see me okay? All right. Okay, great. Awesome. So, and then after we talk about how you can reach the goals, I'm going to give you guys clarity on what that roadmap looks like and everything. And then lastly, I'll show you guys exactly how our team can help you build the business, set the foundation to carry you into the future for tons of success in your business for years to come, whether you're an experienced bookkeeper or if you've never even heard of QuickBooks before. So Rita says, can this be done internationally? I have friends in Puerto Rico who may be interested. Yes, absolutely. So I have had students that have done this from other countries and focused on getting US clients. You can definitely do that. There's really no restrictions to become a bookkeeper unless you are living in New Zealand or Australia. Those are the only places where you actually have to have some certifications through their government or their governing bodies to be able to provide bookkeeping services, but nowhere else requires anything like that to do bookkeeping. What type of education or courses do you need to take? Great question. So I'm going to show you how our academy is going to give you everything that you do need to be successful with the bookkeeping business. And you don't actually need to take any outside education or courses to be able to graduate our academy with a successful bookkeeping business. We have everything within our academy that you would need, and which is really nice. And you don't have to have any extra stuff. You absolutely do not have to be a CPA to do this. When I was going, the reason I'm a CPA is because when I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to be an accountant. And so at that time, all I knew of was going the traditional route, right? So what I decided to do was go to school, get my accounting degree. Then I planned on working for, some corporation and some CPA firm, get my CPA license, work my way up and become a partner of one of those firms. That was the path that I was looking to go. I didn't know how much I was going to hate corporate America until I had kids and realized that that was not going to be the lifestyle for me. And so I ended up quitting my job and staying home with my older two kids for a while. And then, that was rough because we were on one income. My first husband at the time, he didn't make a lot of money. And so we struggled a lot. And then when I ended up getting separated from him, and then I went back to school, kept working on my CPA license, got a job at a CPA firm. And my plan was, again, let's start climbing the corporate ladder. Let's try to become a partner of one of these firms and see if I can make a bunch of money that way. And then I got remarried and had my third child, and then realized all over again, this is going to be rough working, 50, 60, 70 hours a week during tax season to climb the corporate ladder was going to be hard. And I thought maybe it'll be worth it financially. And the first year I had my CPA license, I got a really crappy raise. And I realized to myself at that point, I'm never going to make the kind of money that I want to make for my family to allow them to do the things that they want to do in life if I work for somebody else. And I'm sure as heck never going to have the freedom that I want to have if I continue to work for somebody else as well. So, that is why I have a CPA license, because I went through all of that baggage, probably what a lot of you guys have experienced as well, before I really even thought of that I could even start my own business. And once I started my own business, then I realized this is the path that anyone can take. If you have somebody guiding you on this, there's no reason you have to go back to school, study for the CPA exam, spend years getting experience, getting dumped on at a corporate job as the lowest person on the totem pole. So that's what we're here for, is to help you guys not have to go through that traditional path, but be able to start having success right away. So, and I'll explain how that works throughout this whole webinar. Yes, so exactly. Should you have a separate email address? Yes, we do recommend that you get your own domain through GoDaddy, and we walk you through all of that, Teresa, and those first how to set up your business for success lessons shows you exactly how to get your domain and set up your own company email address, which is fairly cheap to do that. Okay, good job, guys. I love the questions. Keep them coming. It's great. Okay, so just real quick, I'm going to show with you guys what the investment is, the details on our Bookkeeper Academy. I'm going to share with you a little bit about our guaranteed funding program so you can make payments if you do have a tight budget right now. And then if you're new here, you're going to be able to see throughout this webinar how you can turn this investment into lifelong money for your family. So our Bookkeeper Academy program is only $12,000 for an entire 12 months of support from our team. We are available and provide support for over 70 hours every single week to help our students succeed. And we help you learn the skill of becoming a bookkeeping business owner. And we really help all of our students go from scratch, from $0 up to making $100,000 in their first year. So when you start your bookkeeping business, you're going to be able to start making money. Like I mentioned, the traditional path of, 4 years in school plus extra years, plus testing, plus, getting a $40,000 or $35,000 job and trying to work your way up. We're cutting all of that out. So you're going to be able to actually start making money and be able to get up to a 6-figure salary, even if you're brand new to being a business owner and even if you're brand new to bookkeeping. So we offer, people to come in by paying in full, obviously, but we have a really awesome payment plan I'm going to show you guys about as well. And I don't say this stuff lightly. We do have a lot of students that have accomplished this. So we have the direct roadmap and path to being able to show you guys how to get to this number. So when you do the Bookkeeper Academy, you're going to get almost a 10x return on investment just in your first year alone. A lot of times when people start businesses, if it's their goal to make a lot of money and to see how big they can grow their business, it's pretty normal to have a double growth every year. So what I've seen from myself, from other people that I've mentored, from friends that have bookkeeping businesses as well, is that, typically in your first year, you have the ability to get up to $100,000 in 12 months. And then usually in the second year, we see them hit $200,000 and so on and so forth. So you can almost double your bookkeeping business every year if you continue to be consistent with your marketing, which is pretty cool. But, a lot of people like to invest in, savings, stock market, real estate, 401k, things like that. And when you invest in those things are great, but they have a long-term ROI, and oftentimes a much smaller, could be anywhere from like 0.5% up to like 2, 3, 7%. Usually max return on investment for those things is like 6 or 7%, and usually takes years, sometimes even 10 plus years to see a return. And there's also oftentimes a lot more risk involved with those things, of like potentially people losing money. I know I had some rental properties here over the last few years that I ended up losing money on. But when you first invest in yourself and in starting your own business, that's always going to give you the biggest ROI. And then you're going to take the profit from your business and invest in those other passive things, which is what we typically recommend that you guys do. So I just wanted to point out that when you start a business or invest in yourself and your skill set, that's going to be the biggest return on investment that you can get. And we're set up to help you get close to a 10x return on your investment just in the first year alone. Now, most of your clients are going to stay with you for years and years and years. So really, if you factor that out over a 5-year time span or even longer, it's a pretty huge return on your investment, which is really exciting. But the other cool thing about our program is that our students can actually start making money right away. So you don't have to go through the whole Bookkeeper Academy for the full 12 months in order to start making money. You can actually make money even from day one. We've had several students who have gotten clients on their first couple of days being in our program. And that's even if they don't know how to do bookkeeping. We provide the safety net for you so that as you're learning, you're making money, but you're getting hands-on training and experience with your clients. And then I'll show you guys how exactly we do this, but we basically walk with you and help you do the work, and then we review your work for you so that when you give a finished product to your client that it's perfect, it's correct, and then you'll be able to, from there, get a referral from your client because they'll be really happy. But regardless, you don't have to learn everything in order to start making money and start getting clients. So we help you as you have clients. And because of this fact, we have a lender who will approve everybody that wants to join our program. So even if you have bad credit, even if you don't even have a job right now, or even let's say you guys have a really tight budget and maybe you can afford a new monthly payment for a little bit, but not forever, that would be okay too, because as long as you can afford it for 2-3 months, give yourself some time to get your business set up, going, and getting some traction, you'll have clients coming in to be able to cover that monthly payment, and then from there be able to bring in more money to your family finances as well. Carolyn says, hi, loving the Academy. Yes, Carolyn just got in there, as well as Teresa. So excited for you guys. You'll have to share, your experiences so far and what you like about it as well. And I appreciate you guys hopping on here. So really everybody is approved for financing. If you don't have the $12,000, that's okay. Most people don't. But if you want to go through our funding company, you're welcome to do so. The monthly payment, if you decide to do that, is only $640. So you only need $640 down to start your business and start working towards another life. which is great, giving yourself the freedom and achieving some of the goals that you want to do. And I'll go into detail on this here in a little bit, but $640 per month is the equivalent to only 1 to 2 super small bookkeeping clients. And when you get a bookkeeping client, they're going to pay you a fixed monthly fee every single month into the future. And so if you just get 1 or 2 clients, that's going to more than cover this payment. And then from there, every other client that we show you how to get is just going to be straight profit for you that you can then put into your family finances, which is really, really awesome. So I'll show you guys how that works as well. But like I mentioned, even if you can only swing this payment for 2, 3 months, something like that, it's still worth exploring this idea, because if you can get a few clients in their first couple of months, like a majority of our students do, then you're able to cover this payment. You don't have to worry about it moving forward, which is really awesome. So if you do as well decide to go to this payment plan, just so you guys know, it's based off of a 24-month payment plan, which would include some interest, right? So that'd be about $15,360 total that you would pay over 24 months. Now, even if that was the full cost that you pay, it's still worth it. If you're going to make $100,000 in 12 months, then even investing $15,000 is worth it, right? But what's really cool about this lender is if you pay it off early in 12 months or less, you get 0% interest. So they waive that extra $3,300, which is really cool. And a lot of our students are able to do that because when you get a new client, usually they're behind in their bookkeeping, and you can charge a cleanup fee at the beginning, which a lot of our students are able to utilize that to pay off their balance early. Or what I typically recommend is forget about worrying about the interest. You could also just put that money in your savings account, so that way it could cover your family's bills, all of their bills for a couple months. So that way you can quit your job early and focus all of your attention on your business, which is cool. So, but either way, it's really awesome to be able to save that $3,300 and pay it off early. So I'll show you guys how you can apply for funding. The cool thing about our lender is they move really fast. So I'll share the link with you. It takes about 5 minutes to apply, and then within a couple of hours, they'll give you information on how to schedule a call with them. Once you get on the call, they will collect the $640 and have you sign the loan paperwork, and then boom, you're done, and we'll get you into the academy right after that. So it's a really fast process. So be thinking through this presentation on, how or when you're going to be able to have the $640 down so you can apply and hop right into our program. All right, so of course you guys can pay us directly if you want to bypass the funding and just get right into the academy and focus on growing your business. So I'll share some links with that too. Obviously, people can pay in full, but the other option too is you can put $3,000 down, and the remaining $9,000 we will split over monthly payments for the rest of the year. So Teresa says, I love the support. Everyone I have talked to has been helpful with the negative mindset, giving other locations to look into for additional mindset positives. They all have a lot of patience for and compassion for fellow bookkeepers. Love it, she says. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Teresa. I appreciate it. Okay, so now when I talk about how we can make, how you guys can make $100,000 in your first year in business, I'm curious of how many of you guys actually believe that that's possible. So if you had the right tools, the right opportunity, and the right mentor, do you feel like you could actually accomplish that? Like when I talk about that, are you like, yeah, that's exciting, I can't wait to see exactly how I'm going to do this? Or do you feel like that sounds way too good to be true? I have no idea how I'm going to make that. So type a 1 if you feel like, yes, I do believe in myself that I could accomplish that with the right guidance. Or type a 2 for no if you're feeling like, I can't possibly imagine how I could ever make that kind of money for my family. So type that in the chat. Just curious what you guys are thinking about, being able to get that 10x return on your investment in the first year. So Scott says 1. All right. Okay. And Terry's got a 2. Deborah's got a 1. All right. Okay, and the negative with family finances now. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough though, so Katika, don't beat yourself up. I mean, it's rough. It's rough right now. I don't know how anybody survives in this economy right now on a low wage, a low salary. I mean, and having kids, it's really, really tough. I really don't know how we would have survived without having a business and having the ability to generate income whenever we want. And that's one of the things I'm going to show you guys here soon. You don't have to rely on, either your boss to giving you a raise or having to go back to school to try to get, a promotion or something like that. When you learn how to do marketing, which I'm going to show you guys all about, you control everything that comes into your life, all the money that comes into your life from here on out. And then you never have to struggle or worry about anything again. Yeah, single mom. We've had a lot of single moms in our program as well. And that's really, really hard, especially hard when you have a restrictive job and, one of your kids gets sick or, something like that. I know when my husband and I were both working jobs, and they were both demanding, and we had very little time off available. And when my kids would get sick, and I had, two of them before my third child was born in school, and you know how kids are, they get sick back to back, and then I kept having to call in to stay home with them, and that is just a rough thing to do, especially if you're a single parent. So having a business like this is so freeing, especially because you can do the work, sitting on the couch, hanging out with your sick kid if they're, not feeling well. And you can also wait till they go to sleep and do the bookkeeping work. But the cool thing is you can be home. You're home, which is awesome. And then also too, I'll share with you guys a little bit about the workflow here, but if you have a sick kid for a couple days, you can just not work and then you can get caught up on work when they go back to school when they're feeling better, because bookkeeping is something that has a monthly process. So you can, not necessarily have to do something every single day, which is really awesome. But just because you're in a rough spot doesn't mean that there isn't a way out. There is a way out. That's why we created this program, to help you guys get out of that. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But also, I want you guys to realize if you are in a tough spot, you're going to have to start working on your mindset. Mindset is key. We focus on this a lot in the Bookkeeper Academy because you first have to be able to believe in yourself that you can do this, that you can accomplish this, and that this is possible, not only for you, but just possible in general, right? So the biggest obstacle, I would say probably the only obstacle truly that our students have, is their own limiting beliefs. Some of them say that they can't do this, or they're not good at marketing, or this and that, or I don't know. There's excuses that people tell themselves that we work on every day. And this is something that we focus very heavily on in the Bookkeeper Academy, because a lot of us have been beat down, right? Life can be hard, especially when you're a single mom or a single parent, or maybe you're strapped financially. So working on your mindset is something that we always have to do, and staying focused on your goals as well. So we work on this every Monday and every Friday in our Bookkeeper Academy. But as we go through this presentation, for those of you that are kind of, struggling right now, I want you guys to practice imagining these results for yourself and see if you can truly believe that you can have these things, and try to visualize and imagine what would your life be like if you did actually have these results. Because that's the hardest part right there, is believing in yourself, right? We can give you the roadmap, we can walk you through the whole thing, but if you don't, at the end of the day, believe you can accomplish this, you won't be able to accomplish it. So what's that quote from Henry Ford? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So you gotta tell yourself you can do it. That's the number one thing. And then the number two thing is believing that we have the right path. You have to decide, are these people the ones that have the right roadmap? And if you can answer yes to both of those questions, then it's easy for you to move forward. So those are typically the only two things, the only two roadblocks for people. But we have the exact path to help you reach all of your goals, and we're going to help you overcome any obstacles that come your way throughout your entire journey, especially in that first 12 months. But to keep our mindset on the right track, we also are constantly focusing on our goals, having our goals clearly defined and pinned up on our computer screen or somewhere. And, always reminding ourselves, why am I doing this? What is my goal here? What am I working towards? So that way you can always, like Scotty says, be optimistic, stay positive, and keep focused on those goals because there's lots of people that are successful in their businesses and in their life. Why can't that be you? It's your turn, right? It's your turn to be successful. So, real quick, I want to go over and talk about some of the goals. Maybe you haven't even defined the goals for your family yet. So, let's do that really quick so you guys can kind of have an idea of what you're even working towards. And then you'll be able to apply these goals to the roadmap that I'm going to show you here shortly. So the first one that I like to start with is financial goals. So you can't really accomplish any other goals until you first been able to bring in more money. You need money. Money is everything that makes the world go round. It's everything that you're going to need to be able to have time freedom, location freedom, to be able to travel. Everything costs money. So you need money first. That's the first thing. So we're going to talk about your financial goals first. Then from there, we're going to talk about time goals. What do you work right now and what do you want to work? How's your schedule like right now? What would you like your schedule to be like? And then we'll talk about location goals. Do you want to be able to work from home, from an RV? Do you want to travel? Things like that. Okay, so let's dive in with the financial goal. And with these, I break them down into three. When you are starting a business and you're trying to accomplish something, you're going to have like a big goal that's like at the top of your ladder, right? This big wow goal is what I talk about. But in order to reach that wow goal, you need small, manageable, step-by-step chunks. And these are the rungs on the ladder. So we're going to talk about the very first bottom rung on your ladder. What is that goal? I call this the bare minimum requirement goal. So this is like a basic goal that you would want to hit to give yourself confidence that you're on the right path and basically establishing, proof of concept for this business. Like, hey, this is going to work for me. So I'll give you an example of what that was for me. And then I want you guys to be thinking about that for you and sharing it in the chat, what your goal is going to be. But back in 2015, when I hit that point where I was like, I got to do something, I was working at a CPA office and I was making about $3,500 per month after taxes. So that's what I brought home to contribute to the family finances. But after I had my third child, I ended up deciding to hire a nanny. We did not want her to go to daycare. And I, at that point, put so much into my career. I didn't want to quit and stay home yet. I wanted to see if I could keep climbing the ladder and be able to provide financially. So we decided to hire a nanny. And this nanny cost us $1,500 a month. And that was a pretty big hit to our budget. And we knew it was going to be very hard and very tight, especially with the fact that my husband and I were both working, corporate jobs at salary where we didn't have the opportunity to make more money. I had just passed my CPA exam, so I was hoping to get a raise that I thought was going to cover it. That didn't happen. And so I'll go into detail about that here in a little bit. But basically, I was only bringing home a net of $2,000 per month after paying my nanny. So I knew if I quit my job, as long as I could figure out a way to bring in $2,000 per month, then I would be fine, at least for a little while, because we were somehow making it work, right? So that was my first goal. And I knew if I could do that, I'd be on the right track and my bookkeeping business was going to be, what I should focus on. So type your goal in the chat below and let me know what your bare minimum goal would be. If you were going to get started in your business, what's that first thing that you would want to hit? Teresa says 3,500. So when you guys are thinking about it, think if you got this big goal, like maybe the $8,000, $100,000 annual salaries, the top of your ladder, whatever it is, it's different for everybody. Well, what are those rungs? And think about that bottom rung. What would that be? And type that in the chat. Carolyn T says 3,000. Love it. And keep them coming, guys. And then goal number 2 is comfortable and content goal. So this is where, maybe it's like second or third rung on your ladder where you're worry free, you're not having to, budget or penny pinch, or maybe you can pay all of the bills, but you still know you're going to need more money at some point if something, came up like a dentist appointment or something like that that you weren't expecting. That would probably put you in a bind. But really from day to day, month to month, you're kind of covered. You're kind of content. So this would be goal number 2. For my family at the time, that was around like $5,000 to $6,000 per month. We live in the Midwest. We didn't have a lot of expenses. This would allow me to, cover most of our expenses so that my husband could quit his job. It allowed us to start reaching some of our lifestyle goals, like both of us being home, and having that flexibility. And I knew if he came home, that would free me up even more to grow the business and make more money, because I was currently working my business with 3 kids at home by myself, and my husband was working a lot, which I'll show you guys all about here soon. So if I knew I had him home and he could help with the kids and things and help with the business, then we would be able to accomplish more. So obviously I wasn't completely content with this, but that was my second goal to hit, and it was really awesome. So what would be your next goal after you hit your first goal? What would be your next goal? Type that in the chat. So Andrea wants to be able to replace what I bring home now. Yes, absolutely. That is also the goal. Katika says 3,000. Teresa's goal 2 is 5,500. Carolyn's goal 2 is 4,500. 6,000 for Katika. Awesome. Okay, and then goal 3. This one is the fun one. This one is what I call the wow goal. So this is like where you can start to work towards some of those bucket list items. Like for me, I'll give you guys an example. When I was working in the CPA firm, I used to watch my boss take like 2 and 3 week long like sabbaticals and trips, and he would just be gone for like 3 weeks at a time. And he went to Italy, he would go to like Sedona or Colorado and all these fun places. And I used to daydream and fantasize about being able to do that. But I never could with the salary that I was making, because number 1, I didn't have enough vacation time to be able to do that. And number 2, I didn't make enough money to be able to do that. And so for my wow goal, I knew if I could make at least $10,000 per month, I would be able to start doing those things. I would be able to take extended vacations and be able to afford them as well. So that was what I was really striving for. That was kind of at the time the top of my ladder. Now, the cool thing about your goal ladder is that it's expandable. So as soon as you reach that top wow goal, you'll immediately expand your ladder, slide it up, and then you have more rungs to reach, which is cool. And there's never a limit on how many times you can expand your ladder, which is really awesome. But that was my big goal at the time, and that would allow us to literally never have to budget. We didn't have to budget anymore. We didn't even have to really pay attention. Like for a lot of you, especially single moms on here, I used to keep a spreadsheet of exactly what I was spending and all my bills. We would get paid, and then all the bills would be earmarked, and I'd have like 30 cents left in my account when my first 2 kids were little. And that was some extreme budgeting. Like I had to do that when we were living off of one tiny income. But once you get to this level in your business, you don't even have to budget at all if you don't want to. And for me, it was the first time in my life that I didn't have to do that. And so I liked it. I liked taking a break from budgeting. And then we were also able to take family vacations, like I mentioned, and I'll show you guys about that here soon, what that looked like for us. Bought a brand new car, never had bought a brand new car before. That was fun. I ended up buying a new house that had a pool. That was also awesome. So what would be your wow goal? What's your third wow goal that would allow you to start doing some of the things you want to do like this? So Andrea says 8,000. Let's see. Teresa says 9,000. Love it. Carolyn says 5 to 6,000. Great. This is awesome. Okay, so type that in the chat, and then we'll also talk about time goals. So think about how much you currently work right now per week. And I would include all the hours you're away from home or away from family. So you want to include commute and all that jazz, everything like that. So for me, I worked outside of tax season, I worked about 40 hours a week on average, and I worked about 5 minutes from home. I was able to kind of work through my lunch break. So I was just gone 40 hours a week. My husband, on the other hand, like I mentioned, he was commuting to downtown Kansas City, fighting traffic. Oftentimes he had to work late, so he was typically gone about 60 hours a week, which was crazy. So type in the hours in the chat of how much you currently work and are away from family. Um, and if you don't work right now, you're unemployed or you're a stay-at-home parent, type in how many hours per week that you would have to work if you had a job. Ooh, Katika, 65 hours? Ouch, that's terrible. And Teresa works 100 plus because she travels. Yep, we're going to cut that out here soon. 25 hours for Carolyn. All right. And then also too, in a perfect scenario, what is your preferred time investment? Let's say you can hit your wow goal and you don't have to work a lot, but you have to work some. Let's say you just work your ideal schedule and you can hit your wow goal. What would that be for you guys? Type your preferred investment in the chat as well. So Katika would want to do 20. Teresa wants to do 15 to 20. Same with Scotty. Love that. 40 hours, thankfully 16 of those I can work from home, but the rest in the office. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So also I want you guys to keep in mind that flexibility is key. So you can reduce your overall hours, still hit your wow goal, but also have flexibility for how and when you do the bookkeeping work. So you get to choose the time of day, the day of week that you work. You can even change it from week to week. It's really super flexible, and I'll show you guys more about that on an upcoming slide too. So then obviously too, we have location goals. So what is your current versus preferred workspace? Do you want to work from home? Do you want to work from an RV? Do you want to be able to, bounce back and forth between family that lives like across the state or across the country? So where are your preferred ones? And then traveling. Do you want to take more vacations and trips that you can't do because of restrictions from your jobs right now, or maybe lack of funds? So where do you want to be able to work from? Teresa says home and on vacation. I have a student named Kim who's been in our program for like 3+ years now, maybe getting on 4. And she always posts pictures of leaving. I think she lives in St. Louis, and she goes down to Destin, Florida, and just sits with her laptop on the beach. She has one child, I think, and she is like teenage level. So she's got a little bit more freedom than, like, for example, I do with so many young children. But she gets to go down there and just sit on the beach with her laptop, and just so amazing. Work from home, travel, home with a month or so yearly sabbatical. Yes, I love that. All right. So some of the other things that our students have been able to do is pay off debt, buy a house, investing, things like that. I'm going to read to you guys really quickly an example here. This is from a student that started our program in 2019. Her name is Jara. And she says, Jara says, "Hello, everyone. I wanted to share an amazing win of mine, and I hope it lifts and encourages you to know that you can do it. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool my 4 kids. My husband graduated chiropractic school with around $175,000 of debt, and we were just squeezing by to pay all expenses on top of the ever-crushing school loan. I had worked full-time up until I had my kids, and though I enjoy being a mother, I always wanted to get back into the work field, even just for a day or two. I tried looking for part-time jobs, but at $9 an hour or less, and I didn't get a higher education, so making more was out of the question without going back to school. So she really felt stuck. She says, I researched and followed several groups, school programs, and even tried to get into marketing, which ironically, she says, I was awful at, which was a limiting belief that we helped her overcome. And she said, and someone had mentioned Tiffany's group, and though I didn't have bookkeeping experience, I really enjoyed finances and problem solving. Of course, with things being tight, I worried that we would spend the money and I wouldn't see a return. I contemplated for a couple days, and my husband encouraged me to just go for it. One of the best decisions we have made. I joined summer 2019 and opened in October of 2019. She said, it took me 3 months to land my first client. It has had its ups and downs, but I'm so glad I decided to take that chance. Fast forward to now, she says, I have 25 monthly clients as well as contract work for a CPA. I have 3 part-time employees and I put in roughly 20 to 40 hours per week. I do this all from home. She says, I still homeschool my kids, take vacation days, and schedule things on my time. I put in a lot of evening hours so I can spend the day with my kids. Are you ready for the big news? She says, we paid off our loans. A 30-year loan, $175,000 in less than 5 years, and the majority was paid in 2020 and 2021. So she wouldn't have been able to do that without her bookkeeping business, right? We are now saving up a down payment to build our dream home, which I will certainly share pics once it comes together. I make more per hour than my husband, and he took 8 years of school, and I took Tiffany's program for a small fee. I am also not capped at what I can earn. I'm not limited to how many hours I can work. I can contract out, hire more employees, and continue to grow as big as I want. The sky is the limit. I'm just so happy I stumbled upon this group. Thank you to Tiffany for making it possible for this mom to dream big. So just to give you guys an idea of what you can accomplish, even with everything that she had going on, she had no prior education or higher level, college or anything like that, no experience doing bookkeeping. She was at home with 4 small kids that she was homeschooling all day, and she had an insurmountable amount of debt looming over her. And, it took her a few years, right, to build up to the point where she could get rid of that. But it provided her hope and freedom, right? So, and then I love the part in here where she talks about how she makes more than her husband. You can actually make a lot of money with a bookkeeping business. And it is, if you guys Google it, Forbes.com. They have an article out there of the top 10 most profitable businesses that you can start from home, and bookkeeping or accounting firms are number 3. So it's really, really awesome. And the great thing is you don't need experience or certifications to start it. Just like Jera, you can do it without that, which is really cool. To celebrate my 1-year anniversary in my bookkeeping business, I bought this brand new van. It was a $45,000 van, got approved for it with literally only our bookkeeping business as our primary source of income. And then I was also able to pay this off early. We paid it off in about 6 months, which was really cool. And fun fact, we still drive that car today. And then we also did that dream vacation that I was telling you guys I wanted to do so badly. So we took that van, and as another anniversary present for starting our business, we decided to take a 16-day trip across the country. So we went to Estes Park and we were hiking in Colorado here. And then we went to Mission Beach, California. And then we stopped at the Grand Canyon on the way home, which was so fun. And the great thing is, I was able to be present during this entire trip because I took my laptop with me to handle a little bit of work here and there. But for the most part, bookkeeping is something that has a monthly deadline. And so even though I was gone for 16 days, I did the bare minimum while I was out and about. But then when I got home, I just got caught up on all the bookkeeping, which was really cool. So it provides you a lot of flexibility to be able to do this, obviously, in addition to the finances of being able to afford it too, right? And then also in 2018, much to my surprise, when after we had our twins, we decided we really wanted to get a bigger house. And ideally, we were looking for one with a pool. And we ended up upgrading our house. We bought this house. It was a $412,000 house that I was surprised that we were able to do this, but we got approved for this house through our bookkeeping business income only. It's the only money that we had coming into our family, which is fantastic. And we were able to buy this house with it and easily be able to afford it. So I am curious, what are some of the big ticket items that you guys are all looking forward to accomplishing if you had more money like this coming in? What would you do with your life if you could bring in as much money every single month as you want? Would you buy a house, travel, pay off debt, those kinds of things? Type those things in the chat. Paying off debt and moving, paying off mortgage. Yep, love it. So now I'm going to dive into exactly how a bookkeeping business can help you reach those goals and give you the exact roadmap to getting there so you have complete clarity on what this process looks like and the timeline on how quickly you can reach these various goals we just talked about. So this webinar is going to be recorded, but stick around with me because I'm going to answer every question you have before we close it down, and I'll show you exactly how to take advantage of that guaranteed approval process if you guys want to go that route. Buy a property and have a mini farm. Oh, fun. Buy a new one-story house and get medical help for my husband. Pay off my debt, vacation frequently. Yes, those are awesome. Great goals, guys. Okay, the first thing I want to go over is just kind of like the average time it takes some of our students to reach levels of consistent, reoccurring, dependable monthly income in their bookkeeping business. There are several ways you can earn income in your business, like cleanup jobs, payroll, sales tax, things like that. Some of those aren't as consistent and they can vary from client to client and student to student. So I'm trying to be super conservative here and painting a realistic picture of the time frame you can expect with consistent monthly bookkeeping fees. So this is where you charge a client a monthly fee to do their basic bookkeeping every single month, and it's something you depend on. So every month it comes from their account, goes into your account, and every time you get a new client, that amount just keeps going up. And typically, these clients will stay with you for years and years, so it's very dependable. So I'm going to share with you just what that looks like so you can kind of get an idea. So typically what we see from students on average is that they add about $1,000 of monthly income to their business for every month that they are in business. So let's say you want to make $2,000 per month, then it usually takes about 2 months to get there. So that was my first goal. So I know if I start now, it's probably going to be the end of February and I'll already be making about $2,000 per month. And I'll explain a little bit more about how. But this is why also too, if you're going to invest the $640 to down, that within just a few months, you could have clients that are going to be able to cover that and still have extra coming into your family. Now, this is dependent on a few things. We also do see sometimes during tax season, our students are able to get clients faster and reach these milestones faster just because people, business owners are looking for bookkeepers more frequently during tax season. They can't file their taxes if they don't first have their bookkeeping done. So in order to file their taxes during tax season, they need to get their bookkeeping done. So tax season is starting in just a few days, which is really exciting. And so if you guys hop in before that starts, you'll be ready to rock and roll as tax season unfolds and be able to get some referrals there from tax people and just business owners that are looking for help. So this average result is kind of based on our typical student. And that person works full time, has little kids at home, but comes into the program and starts taking action immediately. So on occasion, we have students that come in and they want to focus on learning or focus on their mindset at first. And if you choose to go down those paths, it'll take you longer to hit these milestones. But if you come into our program and you're ready to hit the ground running in the exact order that we suggest, then it's more likely that you'll hit these milestones in this time frame. So if you guys look at this chart here and thinking about the very first goal that you had for yourself, type in the chat, how many months is it going to take you to hit your first goal? So for me, it was 2 months. What would that be for you? Teresa says 3. Awesome. And so even with when you come into the academy, even if you do want to start working on, your mindset or things like that, and I'll show you guys what the typical journey looks like for our students. But even if you do want to work on your mindset, you can even do that hand in hand with taking some action as well. So that way, as you're feeling more and more comfortable and more positive with moving forward, you'll already have some things set up and ready to go, which is awesome. Awesome. Two for me. Great. 2 to 3 months, and you guys would already be at your goal, which is really awesome. If you think about it, that is a very quick turnaround time to be able to like start completely changing your current situation, right? Like it's December 30th right now, right? This entire year has flown by in the blink of an eye. Can you imagine how amazing it'll feel if in just 3 short months you guys are already like completely starting to change your situation for the better? I mean, that would feel pretty good, right? It would be fast too. It would be here before you know it. So now I want to share with you guys, like in terms of clients at these different revenue levels, what does that mean of like how many people do you actually need to find as bookkeeping clients to make like two or three or $4,000 per month? So that looks like this. So for example, for my first goal of $2,000 per month, I need approximately 4 super small bookkeeping clients. Um, this chart is assuming that every client you get is small. So it's kind of a range though. Sometimes our students get larger clients. So if you get larger clients, obviously it would just mean you would need less to hit your monthly goal, your monthly income goal, right? So for example, Kim got a new client last December that paid her $21.97 per month. So she hit that first $2,000 milestone with one client instead of four. When I had my bookkeeping business and I was making $20,000 per month, I had 33 clients instead of the 40 listed there, just because some of them were bigger, right? So you can kind of get a feel for what the typical range is. But I want you guys to look at this and look at your first financial goal. Mine was 2,000. What was yours? Look at that and then type in the chat, how many clients do you need to reach your goal? So Teresa says 6 to 8. I needed 4 clients. What do you guys need to reach your goal? Carolyn needs 4. And then I'll show you guys on the next slide kind of what you're working with and how doable that's going to be. Andrea needs 10. All right, 6 for Katika. Great. So far, we have a range of between 4 to 10 clients. That's all you guys are going to need to be able to hit your first goal, just somewhere between 4 and 10 clients. Well, take a look at this chart here. This is the potential client pool that you have to pull from. When you're fishing in the sea and you're plucking out a client, this is how many there are out there. So this chart here is from the SBA.gov. It shows the number of small businesses in the US from 2017 through 2022. Just last year alone, there were 33.2 million businesses in the US. 33.2 million small businesses. And as you can see from this chart, every single year it gets bigger, right? In fact, there's about 500,000 small businesses starting up every single month. And there's bookkeepers and CPAs retiring in droves with nobody to replace them because there's been a huge decline in people interested in getting accounting degrees, probably because of the low pay and the long hours during tax season. So there's literally clients everywhere, and there's never going to be a potential or a shortage of potential clients for you. So there's tons of fish in the sea, like I mentioned. And no matter how hard I try, there's never going to be enough bookkeepers out there to help everyone. And as you can see, for me, when I had a $20,000 per month business, I only had 33 clients. So that's a very small amount of clients for me to double my WOW goal. So as you guys can see, it's pretty doable for everybody to be able to take a piece of this pie, right? But it also helps that bookkeeping is a required service for businesses. It's not like a luxury item, like makeup or Scentsy or something like that you have to try to convince somebody to sell or purchase from you. All business owners, they know they need bookkeeping, whether they try to do it themselves, they put it off, or they hire somebody else to do it. They all know they need it. They're all convinced of the value because at some point, if they're not doing it or they're trying to do it on their own, they're understanding how important it is, but also why they don't have time to do it, why they don't have time to mess with it. And so finding clients is relatively easy, but also getting them to say, yes, help me out you're hired, that's also relatively easy as well. So I'm going to walk you guys through that on an upcoming slide as well. But I want you guys to type a yes in the chat if you feel like once you know how to find these clients that it's going to be pretty doable for you to be able to hit your first goal. So type a yes in the chat if you feel like it's going to be doable. All right, awesome. Teresa says yes. Katika and Andrea say yes. Awesome. Okay, so this is my favorite slide of the entire presentation. This is the expected time commitment that you need to make to complete the bookkeeping work for these clients that you get at various monthly income levels. So for my first goal of $2,000 per month, I knew I would only have to work 4 hours per week to complete the bookkeeping work for all of those clients at that level. So the reason I knew that is because I worked in a CPA firm, right? And I actually did the bookkeeping work and I saw how much my boss charged these clients to do the bookkeeping work. I saw that. That's why I knew I only needed about 4 clients if I quit my job. And I knew exactly how long it took me to do the bookkeeping work for these particular clients. I got it done in no time. And so I knew if I quit and I started my own thing and I was making $2,000 a month, I'd only need about 4 clients and it would only take me 4 hours a week to do the bookkeeping work. So I knew if I was working 40 hours a week, but then I could switch to my bookkeeping business and only have to work 4 hours, that would give me 36 hours every single week that I would have back with my family. So I want you guys to do a little math as well. And I want you to look at this chart and look at how much you currently bring home from your job right now. And then I want you to take that number and look over what your weekly time commitment would be if you did bookkeeping instead. And I want you to subtract that from your total time commitment now and type in the chat, how many hours would you save? So for me, I did 40 minus the 4 hours, I saved 36. So how many hours would you save? Type that in the chat. And this is the only math that you're ever going to have to do because you can use a calculator. You don't have to be good at math. You don't have to be good with numbers to be able to be a great bookkeeper. I always use my calculator, and even QuickBooks has a built-in calculator as well. So this is the hardest math you'll ever have to worry about. So Teresa, because she travels, she's going to save 92 hours. Scotty's going to save about 40 hours, a whole full-time job. Andrea's going to save 30. All right, Carolyn, yes, we'll send you the replay. So huge amount. Imagine that for a minute, guys. What if you had all that time back? What would you do with it? It would be incredible. So, things that I've done with this extra time, spend it with family. Obviously, I did this because I wanted to be home with my kids more. I picked up hobbies. I was able to do hobbies right now. Currently, I'm learning how to play the drums, which is fun and awesome. And then what I've done over the past, it's ebbed and flowed a little bit, but I have taken that extra time and I've reinvested it into the business and been able to get to my next level, goal number 2, goal number 3, and then change my goal, extend the ladder and create a new goal and work on it, which is really cool. And then there's been times where, like Teresa says, relax and enjoy my family. And I have done that too. When I got pregnant with the twins, I barely did anything. I just worked on my current clients and that's it. I stopped marketing. I stopped trying to grow my business. I just let it organically happen. And I had a ton of time to just relax, spend time with the kids, things like that. So it was really awesome. But you can change, you can decide, and you can even change it up. Maybe 1 month you want to relax and take a trip or do nothing, hang out with your kids, or the next month you want to ramp up your marketing and see if you can add more clients. So you get to choose, which is really awesome. The other cool thing about these hours as well is that you can choose when you work them. So you can work them in the morning before the kids wake up, at night after they go to bed. You can work just when they're at school. You can work on the weekends. You can work whenever. So even if you're going to do this alongside a full-time job, you can still do this in the evening and the weekends and things like that. Now, obviously, it takes a little bit of work and time commitment to get to this level. where you have these clients. And if you want to continue growing, you're still going to have to put some time in for marketing. But once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm just going to coast for a while, then this is the only time commitment that you actually have to put in, which is really cool. Yes, Andrea would focus on her 4-year-old and maybe find a little me time for once. I love that. So here's an overall chart of everything, recapping what we just talked about. If you guys want to take a picture of this, you can. I'm also curious, is anybody feeling like that this is great, but still sounds too good to be true? Don't understand really how this high money, low time business works. Is anybody feeling that way? Okay. So at this point is usually when people are like, this sounds so great. I really, really, really want to do this. I don't understand how I'm going to have these results. How does anybody achieve this? How is it possible? So I'm going to break it down for you guys so you understand exactly how this high money, low time business thing works. So you fully understand the science behind it. So there's a few key pillars that make these results possible. The first and most important step is proper quoting. So obviously understanding how to charge for services and not undervaluing or underquoting, that's going to be an important skill to develop. There's a lot of factors that go into quoting. We base things loosely off of the client's revenue, their annual revenue. The more revenue they have, the bigger they are, the more work is involved. So we start there. That's the first criteria. Then we also ask and look into what is the industry they're in. Some industries are going to be more involved than others as well. So we base our monthly fee off of that too. And then the third question is, how organized are they? Do they have 5 accounts or 20? Are they mixing their business and their personal expenses, or are they keeping things separate like they should? So those 3 main factors are how we determine their monthly fee. And that monthly fee, if quoted properly, is something that's going to allow us to have these exact results here. So in our Bookkeeper Academy, we help you understand how to quote, and we help you fine tune that process because it is an art. It's a little bit different for every client. And when you're in the academy, we give you access to our proprietary quoting tool. And so when you ask these questions to your potential client, you can put the answers into the quoting tool and it will give you the monthly fee. And so you'll know exactly how much to charge based on that. But then sometimes your clients will ask for additional services. And so from there, we always say, run the quotes by our team so we can let you know, we can tell you if there's going to be any extra things that you want to build into your monthly fee. So that way you can make sure you're getting, the right value for it. So as an example, we had a student named Sylvia, and she had like 4 or 5 clients already. So she had been through this process a few times, but she got a client in the construction industry. And this was the first client that she had in that industry. So she wasn't sure exactly if the quoting tool was telling her accurately. So the quoting tool told her $500 per month. But the client actually wanted her to do a few extra things outside of the normal, basic bookkeeping, which she was comfortable doing. And so she came to one of our coaching calls and she talked to one of our coaches, Vanessa, and she said, the quoting tool says $500 a month, but they're also wanting these things. Do you think I should still go with the 500 or should I, increase my fee? What am I looking at here for just like, total overall monthly work? And Vanessa said, based on my experience working with clients in this industry, I would probably up my quote to $1,000 a month for this particular client based on what they're needing. And so she went back to her client, proposed that amount, and they said yes, which was great because now Sylvia is actually able to get an extra $500 per month for this particular client. And if she wouldn't have had that interaction with our team, she would have had half the money for the same amount of work. So we helped her avoid creating a job for herself, and we helped her give her financial freedom in her business by quoting properly, because no matter what, it was going to be the same amount of work, right? But now she's actually quoting properly for it and is going to be able to reach her financial goals because of that. So that one interaction with our team gave her an extra $500 a month, which over the course of a year is $6,000. And over the course of 5 years, assuming she keeps this client for 5 years, that's a $30,000 ROI just from having one conversation with our team and helping her quote. But that helps bring a lot more money into her family as well. And it's worth it. And it was a fair, reasonable quote as well. So understanding how to quote and really making sure that you're not undercharging, because we do tend to undervalue ourselves a lot. We really help with that in the academy as well. But then also from there, understanding how to do the work in an efficient way. So when we price these services, we tell their business owner it's a fixed fee every month. They pay you the same thing. So we want to make sure that your workflow of you actually doing the bookkeeping work is super efficient and streamlined. So we help you learn how to set all of that up in QuickBooks Online, leverage some of AI to be able to utilize QuickBooks Online, super efficient, but also setting boundaries with your clients and avoiding scope creep. We help with that as well. And scope creep is when your client asks you to do more and more things for them. And over time, you just keep saying yes and yes and yes, but you never adjust the quote up. So we help you with understanding how to have those conversations, when to increase the prices for your clients, things like that. So if you have a fixed fee coming in every single month and you do the work in a super efficient way, you're going to tally up all of your hours that you work on these clients, divide it out by the monthly fee that you're charging. And that's how most of our students make over $100 per hour working on the bookkeeping clients. Your bookkeeping clients are not going to even know how long it takes you to do this work. They're just paying the fixed fee and they're seeing the finished product. And we're going to show you how to do it so efficiently and so fast that you're going to make over $100 an hour doing this work, which is really cool. So those are the two main things that actually go into how you're going to get these results on the previous charts that I shared with you. But there's a couple other factors that go into this as well. So obviously, if you quote under or less or whatever, and you do the work in a messy fashion, right? You could make 25 or 30 bucks an hour, right? So we're going to help you protect that. But also by learning how to do the proper quoting, learning how to do the workflow in the efficient manner and setting those proper boundaries, that right from day one is how we're going to help you build your business, but with the end in mind. So a lot of times when people start businesses, they start it with the thought of like, I just need to make some money, need to just get out of this job that I'm in or whatever, solve some kind of problem. They don't really think about what is my business going to look like in a year, 5, 10, 20 years down the line if I start it like this. But we do. We know what you're going to think about then. And so we're going to go ahead and help you build the business from day one with all of this in mind. And part of this is teaching you how to think like a business owner. So how many of you on here have been business owners before? Or how many of you have been employees? Most of your life you've been an employee and you've gotten a paycheck or a salary or something like that. Has everybody been employees? Okay, sold Avon. So that's similar, kind of like a business owner, more like a side hustle, side gig thing. So when you are most often an employee, you are thinking in terms of your paycheck, right? So when you become a business owner, you have to think differently. And we're going to help you with that in the academy too. But we want to build this business with the end in mind as if you are a business owner. And everybody that works for somebody right now, you work for a business owner because your boss or whoever owns the company that you work for, they're the business owner. They have to make sure they are structuring the price of their products or their services that they provide in a way that they can not only just pay you and all the other employees on in their business, but also have money left over for them, right? So that's what we're doing here in this bookkeeping business. We are structuring this like a business, and you're going to be the owner. the CEO. And so you need to make sure that you have proper quoting and efficient workflow so that way you can have enough money left over from for your family, for yourself, but also be able to have enough money for future employees. So you may not think that you ever want a team of people, or you just want to start this business for yourself. You don't want to have employees or whatever. But I'd say probably a good 50% or more of my students do actually end up hiring employees, because you can grow these businesses relatively easy and fast, that sometimes even as quick as 6 to 9 months in our academy, our students are looking to hire contractors or full-time employees, which is really awesome, or part-time employees. So we want to make sure that if you do eventually decide to do that, that right from day one, you've got the systems in place with the quoting and the workflow, that you're going to be able to hire people to help you if you still want to keep growing, with and still be able to afford to pay them, but also have money left over for yourself. Because why start a business if then when you hire someone, all you have left is money to pay them? That's not a business, right? Then you'd have to go get a job. So we don't want that. We want to make sure that you're able to pay for employees and have profit left over for you still, right? So if you take a look at this chart again, and you look down at the bottom, you can see that if you want to work 40 hours a week in your bookkeeping business, doing straight bookkeeping, that you can handle the workload that totals $20,000 per month in clients. So let's say you decide, okay, I want to hire somebody to do this so I can work minimal, or maybe so you can grow to the next level, right? So you hire somebody to come in and work 40 hours a week in your business, and they're handling all of your clients that are paying you $20,000 a month. Well, did you know that a full-time bookkeeper only makes about $3,500 to $4,500 per month as a salary? I'm going to round up. Let's say you want to be an awesome boss and you want to pay them 5,000 over, like, top notch salary for a bookkeeper. So you're paying them $5,000 a month. That still gives you a $15,000 monthly profit that you get to take home for your family, to accommodate your profit for growing the business to that level. And so you still get to maintain the work-life balance you desire, and you can still grow your business, but then you're making $15,000 a month just overseeing this full-time employee, which is really cool. So then from there, also, we want to help you build the business from day one, assuming that one day down the line, you might want to sell your business. So we have some students that are specifically growing this business right now, so that they can sell it. It's basically like a retirement plan. So even though that's something that you guys might not be thinking about right now, we want to set you up for success, so that way if you do decide to do it down the line, you're set up and ready to go. So when you sell these businesses, it's usually a multiple of revenue, and the multiple goes up depending on how big your business is. So let's say you grow it and you have a $200,000 business. You can potentially sell that for 1 times revenue, or $200,000. Let's say you have $1 million bookkeeping business. I have a friend that got offered 2.2 million for her $1 million accounting firm. So the bigger it grows, the bigger the multiple, which that is really awesome, because you can literally utilize that as a retirement plan, which is cool. But we want to help you set the business up so that way you can potentially sell it later. And these businesses are pretty attractive to potential buyers because of the way we have you set them up. And the key factors are, number one, there is consistent, repeatable income. Those monthly fixed fees that you're charging clients coming in every single month, that is fixed. It's reoccurring. Investors love that because they know that this money is coming in every month. They don't have to worry about it. Number two, the CEO is able to be pulled out of the business. That would be you. So if an investor comes in and you've already built this business up and you have a team of people, the new owner can phase you out and the business can still keep running with with your team, and everything is going to be fine. That's the second reason why investors like to buy these businesses. And then the third one is that they're still like wildly profitable even after you hire a team. And of course, an investor isn't going to want to buy a business that isn't profitable after they pay all their employees, right? So those are the main reasons why these are awesome to be able to sell. So I'm going to share with you guys really quick. Does anybody in here want to have $1 million business someday and see what that's like? Type a yes in the chat if you think, oh, having $1 million business would be really cool. So I want to share with you guys, if you had $1 million bookkeeping business and you divide that by 12, that would mean you would have clients that totaled $83,000 per month. Okay. So we already determined that a full-time person handles about $20,000 per month worth of clients. So you would need about 4.16 full-time employees to be able to handle all of the bookkeeping work for all of the clients if you had $1 million worth of bookkeeping clients. So let's say you paid all these employees, there it's 4 and then a part-time employee, on average $5,000 per month for each one of those employees. So that's $20,000 per month in payroll. If you multiply that by 12, that's $250,000 a year of payroll expense, and your team is basically doing all of the bookkeeping work for you. But you're making $1 million in bookkeeping revenue. So that gives you $750,000 worth of profit left over in your business. So that's loosely what it looks like if you hire a team of people and you get your business up to $1 million. So obviously that's a pretty hefty profit that you get to benefit from. And then if you ever do want to sell it, an investor is going to really love that, right? They're going to want to buy a business that's got high profit and basically is running itself. So obviously these last two things are forward thinking, right? Future stuff. But we're going to help you set up the proper quoting and the efficient workflow right from day one so you can roll right into these things. Prior to needing to roll into these things, you get to have the double benefit, right? You get the employee pay and the owner pay as you're, building these things out and getting used to the proper quoting and the efficient workflow. You get the double whammy, right? Which is really cool. And that's why it's so awesome, especially for, parents, right? Because then you're going to have all this extra time freedom. And if you've got little kids right now, you can keep your business small for now. I just interviewed Melissa on my podcast, and she's been in our program for about 3 years, I think. And she's kept her business right around the 5,000 monthly mark because she's got a little kid at home and he goes to kindergarten next year, and then she's going to go crazy growing her business. But she has chosen to keep it small for now because she valued that time more than money. And now that she's going to have more time, she's going to be able to increase her money as her child goes to kindergarten. So one thing that I haven't even really talked about yet too is backwork and cleanup opportunities. So 9 times out of 10, when you get a new client and they sign up for monthly bookkeeping services, they are coming to you because they haven't done their bookkeeping for months or even years in the past. They either haven't done it or it's messed up because they've tried to do it or they've hired somebody else to do it that didn't know what they were doing, didn't have the support, and now they're looking for bookkeeping services. The cool thing about this is that this is a totally separate income opportunity that you guys have. I didn't even include that on the previous slide because it's different for every single client. So it's not something that I can really promise or predict. I can just show you guys some examples. So for example, this is Kim. Her first client came with a $9,000 cleanup job. So this one was a larger client, a big plumbing company. So she was able to charge $21.97 as the monthly fee. So she hit that first milestone, like I mentioned, in the first month, but she actually made $11,000 by month 2 of her bookkeeping business because of this cleanup job. So this is where I was saying you guys can pay off the investment in the academy really quickly. Like almost the entire investment for the academy for Kim was paid off by this very first client that she got. So every other client that she gets for the whole rest of the time in the academy is straight profit to her, and that she gets to pull right in to her family, which is incredible. Another thing that you can do with this too is put that $9,000 in a savings account. For some of you, this could be 2 months of your family's bills, right? And so that would allow you to quit your job and then spend 40 plus hours a week growing your business so you can get to goal 2 and 3 really quick, right? So there's a lot of different things that you can do with it when you get these cleanup jobs, which is really, really awesome. And then Alicia here, her first client came with a $6,000 cleanup job. And it was a medium size, so she got to charge about $1,500 for the monthly fee. But by the end of her first month in the program, she made $7,500, which is pretty cool. Kim and Alicia both, these are fairly common. What we see is a range from $2,000 to about $10,000 for cleanup jobs, as what we see from our students on average. 2 people in December got cleanup jobs that totaled $10,000. Robin and Christina both got cleanup jobs at that amount, which was really cool. Above that, we don't see them very often. But I want to show you this next one because it is pretty cool to see what possibility is out there. If you feel like 6,000 or 9,000 is far-fetched or stretched out, check out this. Jen got a $32,000 cleanup job. And I interviewed her on my podcast, and she talks about this client. And she did space it out over a 4-month payment plan. But all in all, she made like $34,000 plus in her 4th month in the program, which is absolutely incredible. Jen just shared a win with us yesterday. Let me look that up really quick. I want to show this to you guys. Here it is. Let's see if I can pull this over. She just shared this with us yesterday, which is really cool. I've grown from 3 clients to 32 clients over the last year. I have also built some lasting friendships, business relationships, mentors, and have inspired a few others to also start their own business. I look to inspire more, grown my current employees to help build them a great future and continue to work every day on my mindset. Now that I have a great clientele, I look to invest my energy into them, my team, and myself. Cheers to 2023 and can't wait to see what 2024 has in store. So that's Jen's update. I would love, love, love for you guys to have an amazing 2024 as well, just like Jen. The cool thing about Jen that I want to tell you guys is the first 2 months she was in the academy, she didn't do a whole lot. She was lacking confidence. She didn't know if she made the right decision to move forward with this. She wasn't seeing a lot of traction. And we hopped on some calls with her. We helped her work on her mindset. And then we tweaked some of her marketing strategy. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Two months later, she has 5 clients. She has this $32,000 cleanup job. And then from there, you guys, I want to point out, you don't get confidence first. You do the things, and then those things give you confidence. And that's really what happened with Jennifer. She's got a boatload of confidence now, but it's because she went through this and felt very not confident at first. And then she went through this and she started to get traction, and that traction built her confidence. So that's what we're going to help you guys with when you guys get in the Bookkeeper Academy and start building your business. So here's a little recap of everybody, what they made. Just so you know, just out of these 3 ladies alone, Kim is the only one with an accounting degree. No one else has a degree or certifications in anything. And none of these ladies had any experience doing bookkeeping or using QuickBooks. So we taught them everything that they needed to know to start their business, market their business, find clients, talk to clients, quote clients, propose clients, do the actual work. And our goal is to help them do the work so well and learn how to do the work that each one of these clients tell all of their friends, and then they give referrals to them. So that's what's really cool about it. You don't have to know how to do anything yet to be successful like these ladies were. All you got to do is jump into the program and be committed to following the steps, no matter how much your brain tells you that's too scary. So, just to kind of recap, how did we help them achieve these results? So, the first thing is we help them learn how to conduct a client discovery call so they knew exactly what questions to ask. We give them a script for that. And then from there, we show them how to quote properly. How do we, figure out how much to charge these clients? And then from there, how to propose the quote to the client and explain the value so that the client says yes. So, Kim, specifically, her $9,000 cleanup job, we worked very close on how do we get this client to move forward. She got off the Zoom call after she proposed the client. She was like, I don't know if they're going to move forward or not. And so we worked on, okay, here is the exact email you need to send them and see if you can get them to commit. And they responded right away to her follow-up email, and she secured this client. So we work hand in hand with you guys on those things. We showed them how to onboard the client, like what information are you going to need from your client in order to be able to start doing the bookkeeping work. And then we showed them how to actually break the cleanup job down into a manageable step-by-step process and how to actually do that work. And then, of course, how to do the ongoing monthly bookkeeping work too, because we want to make sure you guys do a great job. Then these clients refer other people to you. We even review your work for you as well for every single client that you get. And all of this helps just ensure that you're making a minimum of $100 per hour doing this bookkeeping work. But probably the most important skill that we taught these ladies is exactly how to find these clients as well, which you guys know is called marketing, right? So if you learn how to do marketing, you will never be short on cash again. You will always know how to make money for your family. So I'm really, really passionate about teaching you how to do the marketing. And in our program, we recommend that our students spend about 30 to 60 minutes per day consistently doing marketing if they want to grow. If you can do more in the beginning, that's great. You'll just get some traction faster. And then what we typically see is when our students take on their first few clients, they slow down on their marketing because they are pivoting to making sure that they're spending their time doing a really good job for their new client. But if you can keep your marketing consistent throughout all that, that's great too, because there is a little ramp up period with marketing that happens. So there are three main methods that we teach our students to get clients. We have seen students achieve that 100K mark with each one of the methods alone. So you can pick one and still achieve that, or you can do all three and just get to your goals faster, which is awesome. But you get the opportunity to choose what method works best for you. And all of these are either free or very low cost. So I'm going to go over each one of them individually real quick. So the first method we teach is organic social media marketing, and we help you utilize the platforms you're most familiar with to find and connect with business owners. So this is going to be like on Facebook, connecting with them in Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Instagram, anything that you're already using. We show you how to utilize those platforms as a business owner, finding other business owners, connecting and engaging with them on these platforms. And then we also show you how to post content that is actually going to get business owners interested in reaching out to you and requesting to schedule a discovery call with you to learn more about your services. And in January, we're actually going to be doing a live workshop helping you guys get all of your content squared away for the entire month and quarter and year, and be able to go ahead and post that and get it ready to go so you don't even have to worry about it. Typically, there is a zero marketing investment with most of the social media that you're going to do. We don't even ask you guys to cold message people, although sometimes that does work really well when you're in a field like this where we're offering help and support to people. I had Elena message about 11 people on Instagram that she knew were business owners, and she knew them. And she reached out and said, hey, I have a bookkeeping business. I just wanted to let you guys know if you need any help in that area, don't hesitate to reach out. And 3 people booked discovery calls with her. That's how, important and interested people are about bookkeeping. And it probably took her 5 minutes to send those messages out. So that can be a really cool method as well. But then we also do teach networking groups and how to utilize these networking groups to find clients. So we show you how to find virtual or in-person networking groups where business owners hang out. And we help you create a strategy when attending these groups so you know exactly how to make the most use of your time and how to get clients from these groups. So we'll also show you how to get referral partnerships going so that other members of these groups are also going to be doing marketing for you. And then they'll most likely refer their clients, their friends, and their families to you for bookkeeping as well. So some of these groups are free, but the really good ones do have an investment. So for example, I joined what's called an industry exclusive networking group where I was the only bookkeeper allowed in the group. And that cost me about $500 for an annual membership, but I made over $60,000 in my first year of being a member of that group. So, really, really awesome. And those groups are great for introverts too, because they're small. And so you get to know people, and then those people actually help you do your marketing. So even if you're an introvert, it's a really great option for you. It also turned into a second family for me. So when you start working from home exclusively, especially if you're at home with your kids all the time, it can be a nice little outlet once a week to get out and go talk to other adults, other business owners, and stuff too. I really enjoyed going to that. And then the third thing that we teach is email marketing. So we show you how to get clients using email. The first thing that we do is help you gather a large list of business owners and a secondary large list of tax offices. From there, we show you how to deploy email campaigns. And for business owners, you're looking to get them as new clients. And then for tax offices, you're looking to get them as partnerships. So if you can get a couple partners going with your tax offices, they will send you clients pretty consistently and regularly throughout the year, which is really cool. Like I mentioned before, business owners can't file their taxes unless their bookkeeping is done. It has to be done first. But a lot of tax people either don't like to do bookkeeping, don't know how to do bookkeeping, or don't have time because tax season is strenuous. And so what they normally do is they partner with a handful of bookkeepers and they farm out the bookkeeping. They refer it out. So if you can get in good with a handful of tax offices as referral partnerships and we help you set up those strategic relationships, then you can get clients sent to you pretty regularly throughout the year without even having to lift a finger. So we show you how to create those using this email marketing campaigns. Typically, this investment can be zero as well, but if you do want to use some of our software programs, there's like 2 or 3 different ones that we recommend. It's about $50 a month for each one of those, and you can use them temporarily or start and stop them as needed. So those are the 3 main methods that we do teach. Also, at the end of this presentation, I'll share with you guys a little bit about our new Sweet Leads for Bookkeepers program. I am actually in 2024 going to be creating a new strategy of getting bookkeeping clients that I'm going to show our Sweet Leads for Bookkeepers members how to do. And I'm also going to be giving bookkeeping clients to the people in that program. So if you join the Academy, you also have an option of bundling in the Sweet Leads program as well. So I'll share with you guys about that too. But these are the 3 main methods that we teach in the Academy that help you guys get to $100,000 in your first year. So I'm curious, out of all of these, what marketing method will you guys be choosing? Will you do social media, networking, email, or all of the above? So type the number that corresponds with what you guys want to do in the chat. Do you want to do social media, type a 1, networking, type 2, email marketing, type 3? If you're going to do all of them, type a 4 in the chat. And then also from here, would you guys like me to show you how our students achieve these results as well? Teresa says she's going to do it all. I love it. Katika's going to do networking and email. Fantastic. All right, here's how our team shows you exactly or helps you achieve these results exactly. So this is the kind of support that you're going to be able to get access to. So let me know if you guys have questions on this, but we run some of our support out of this private members only Facebook group. You currently have access to our free group, most likely as pictured here. But in our private Facebook group, we have about 200 students that are in their first year of growing their bookkeeping business. It's really awesome to have a sense of community with others who are on your same journey in business, but also in life. But we also have about 30 students that are in their second, third, fourth, going on fifth years in our program, and you'll get to collaborate with them as well. Like Jen and Alicia is in there, and a lot of people that I've interviewed on my podcast, they're still in there. So even after the first year, you guys can renew in the program and stay in like they did. So when you renew, you get half price on your second year and so on. And then you can also upgrade into our mastermind programs too, if that's something that you end up wanting to do. But sometimes these second, third, fourth year students will do some guest coaching, which is really awesome. You can learn from them too. And then we have 8 to 10 different team members who are also in the group. They're all either experts in growing a business, doing bookkeeping, marketing, quoting, sales, mindset, all those kinds of things. You're going to have access to all of those people as well. So we actually treat the Facebook group like a ticketing system. It's not just like a community where everyone hangs out or, collaborates with people. It is actually like a question submission system. And so we track everything. We track response times, and every single question gets answered, which I'll share with you in a second. But we answer all the questions no matter what you have questions on. Could be like sales, marketing questions, quoting, QuickBooks Online questions, technical bookkeeping, technical tax questions, workflow, mindset, anything. We answer all of the questions. And currently, like I mentioned, we are available over 70 hours a week for our students through these means. And if you ask a question during these particular hours, on average, our response time is 45 minutes. So you're going to get an answer to your question really fast. And this is awesome for you because you're not going to know how to do bookkeeping or how to answer the questions that your clients have, but you're still going to be able to answer them really quick. So if they email or text you a question, you can be like, okay, let me check on that. Or you can just not respond to them yet. Come into our group, ask the question. We explain it to you, teach you, and then you're able to get back to your client really quickly and be able to answer that question. So it really helps you avoid the overwhelm, and then also not have to sit and research and research and research and try to decide, is this the right answer? Did this answer my question, or am I more confused? So our team will help teach you all of these things as they come up as well. And then we also have group Zoom calls, about 7 to 8 every week, sometimes more. When we did our email marketing workshop a couple months ago, we had an extra like 4 to 5 Zoom calls that week. And then in January, when we do our social media marketing workshop as well, we'll be adding some extra calls for that. We don't expect our students to attend all of these, but these are just great because they are there's a lot of different availability, so that no matter what your schedule is, even if you hop on a couple per week, then that's great. Monday and Friday are reserved for mindset. So we start and end the week with mindset calls, and then all of the calls Tuesday through Thursday that we have scheduled, they are what we call office hours. And so they are like a general Q&A. And so when you get on these calls, you're going to be on these Zoom calls with people that maybe have been in there for one day, or 365 days, or you may be on calls with people that have been in there for 2 years. So there's going to be a huge array of types of questions that are asked. And the cool thing is you're going to get to learn from all of those people asking questions and our team giving answers and providing answers. But you also get to ask any question, even where you're at, even if it's day one, no questions are off the table. So we help everybody where they're at. They're scheduled for 60 minutes, but our team always stays on until everybody's questions are answered. So if there's a lot of people on, then we stay on, till the end. So You'll also have access to a client success coach. And this person's going to be like a one-on-one support over email, texting, and occasionally phone calls if you need some additional, mindset support. And she's going to help you go through this step-by-step process. So anytime you feel stuck or you're kind of spinning out, I'm not sure what I should do next, not sure how to balance this with my family, blah, 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 we can help you point you into the right direction. And this program is self-paced for each person, depending on what your goals are. So she's going to understand, get to know what your goals are, and help hold you accountable to your own goals. Whether you want to make $5,000 per month or you want to make 10, she's going to help you know exactly what to do to reach that goal. And then if you ever have questions or you're not sure where to find the answer to something, she's going to be great at providing you with the direction of where to go. Where's the best support option for you for this particular situation? And of course, she's super supportive and motivational. And this particular client success coach is a former student. She actually was in our program, got a really successful bookkeeping business going. She has a psychology degree and she used to work in IT. Her bookkeeping business allowed her to quit her IT job. And then it allowed her to retire her husband, who now homeschools their 4 kids. And their bookkeeping business is like so on autopilot that she asked to come back and work full time for us to help inspire other people and help them through this journey. So it's really cool. You'll be able to work with her. It's really awesome. And then, of course, you're going to have access to all the coursework you will ever need to be super successful as a bookkeeping business owner. There's a ton of coursework in here, probably like 1,000 hours. And the great thing is you're going to have access to most of this for life. So we don't expect or want you to go through all this coursework, at the beginning. But as things come up, let's say you get a client with payroll needs, we're going to point you to the payroll section and help you understand that. So you'll be able to utilize it as it comes up. But then you'll be able to keep most of this coursework for life, so that way you can go through it later as well. So typically, I'll give you guys an idea of what the journey looks like in the Bookkeeper Academy. The first couple of weeks is where you are going to go through some basic modules and video trainings, and learning how to set up your business back office. So you're going to, get your LLC, tax ID number, your email address, your business bank account, set up all the partnerships we recommend. So that's going to happen in the first couple of weeks. And you're also going to learn the basics of bookkeeping and business ownership. So it's just a series of videos and trainings that you'll go through there. And then you'll watch another training on how to provide amazing service to your clients. And this will give you an understanding of what it looks like to do the bookkeeping for a whole year, and the bookkeeping from month to month. So you have an idea of what you're going to do as a bookkeeper. And that allows you to have the ability to be able to communicate intelligently with a potential client about the services that you're going to offer. So then you feel somewhat comfortable to at least talk about bookkeeping. And then we'll show you the script and show you how to conduct a potential client discovery call as well. And that's all happens just in the first couple of weeks, assuming you have maybe like 2 hours a day to work through some of the trainings. So then from there, we show you how to develop and launch your marketing plan, depending on which route that you want to go. And then usually the last half of that first month, our students are launching it. They're getting support and feedback from our calls as they're getting their marketing consistently fine-tuned. And so if you follow these steps and this path, then usually what we see is by month 2 at the latest, our students are enrolling their first few clients, which is really cool. Now, if you move a little bit slower, that's okay. This is self-paced. It might just take you a little bit longer to get clients, but typically on average by month 2, we see, our students that follow this step enrolling their first few clients. From here, we help them with the cleanup jobs. They'll learn how to do all the onboarding and doing all of the work for their clients as well. And then that process just basically repeats from month 3 through 12. You're going to continue onboarding, working with new clients with our support and our guidance and our procedures and checking over your work and whatnot. You're going to become an expert bookkeeper over this 12-month time period. And we're going to provide the safety net for you so that way you can work with clients from all different industries and get experience working with clients. No matter who comes your way, you'll be able to tell them yes, because we'll be able to help you have experience with, whether it's a restaurant or a barber or a construction client or a roofer or something like that. We'll be able to help you know what to look for. And then we're going to help you set the foundation for a profitable business that gives you the financial, location, and time freedom that you are looking for. So from here, the next steps would be to apply for our program. And I'm going to share some links with you guys really quick. And that way you guys have them handy. You can save them. And then I'll also go over our Sweet Leads program too here in a minute for those of you that want to stick around for that. But here's some links that I dropped in the chat right now. If you guys have $640 available down payment and you're ready to go to get started, click that first link. It's our US-based funding link. And what will happen there is it takes 5 minutes to apply. And then you'll be immediately approved. Within a few hours, they'll send you information on next steps. And then most of the time, it's booking a call, making your down payment, signing the papers, and you're ready to be onboarded into the academy. So if you don't have the $640 down yet, or maybe you need it, you're going to have it in like a week or so, just copy and paste, save that link and apply when you're ready, because a lender moves fast. And when you book a call, they kind of expect you to have that $640. So that'll get you guys in and ready to go. If you're based in Canada, there's a totally separate lending process there. So you'll want to use the Canadian-based funding link. If you want to pay us directly and bypass the funding, you can make a down payment of $3,000 and we'll onboard you to the academy today. Or you can click the pay in full link, and that's the $12,000. You can just pay that as well. And then the last two links are our Sweet Leads program. So our Sweet Leads program is $2,000 if you want to add that on. So you can buy that with the Stripe link there. And if you don't know anything about that, you can click that webinar and register for that. But I'm also going to go over it here too, if you guys want to stay on and learn more about that as well. So for those of you that are on here, what is the game plan? What's your game plan? Andrea, Deborah, Katika, Marlinda, Priscilla, what are your game plan for next steps? Do you have questions? Are you going to apply? What can I help with? How can I help you guys determine what your next steps are going to be? Comment in the chat and let me know. Anything? Do you guys want me to, oh, here we go. I need to come up with the money. Once I have money, I want to start. Awesome. So what is your game plan for that? Because I know you mentioned your funds are tight. Do you have an idea of how you're going to come up with the 640? Yeah, Andrea says 640 biggest hurdle. Yes. So couple ideas if you guys want me to give you some suggestions of what students have done in the past. Number one, if you've got some space on a credit card, you could always do a cash advance or something like that on your credit card. I have done that in the past to get traction and get going. I once had a line of credit that was 51% interest, but I knew it was going to get me to the next level. Now, I would never recommend doing that if you're going to buy something like that's not going to give you a return, like furniture or something like that. I would never recommend doing that. But if you're going to be able to utilize this money to make money, then it could make sense to do that. I've also had people reach out to family and see if they want to invest in their business to get them going for the first couple months. So if you have any family members that are able to do that for you to help you get on your feet, that would be awesome too. And if that's not an option for you as well, then another thing you could do is maybe potentially DoorDash. I know that my 19-year-old has been getting about $100 a day door dashing just in the evenings. He's going about 3 hours every evening and door dashing. So, within about a week, you could have $600 to get started with this, which, could be kind of cool. The other thing that you could do as well is you could potentially start reaching out to some business owners that you know, either on Facebook that you know, or maybe in your community, just anybody that you know. If you go to church, maybe there's some business owners there that would be willing to help invest in your business to get started in exchange for free bookkeeping services. So that kind of thing. Yeah, the door dashing I know is challenging because you have to be in a spot where it's in high demand. Um, somehow my 19-year-old's making like $90 every night, and he's only gone for like 3 hours, but he is dashing from like 5 to 9 or five to 8, 6 to 9, stuff like that. So not in the most ideal times, but so you got to think outside the box to see what's going to work for you and your family. But there is usually a way. There's usually a way. You guys are getting by now, right? You're getting by now. So there's usually something you can do. And it seems, sometimes when people are at the end of their rope and they're like, I'm at the worst spot possible, to then have to try to come up with more, funds to get in seems counterintuitive, but this could be a means to an end for you. So you never have to be in this financial hardship ever again. Tax return is a great idea. Saving your tax refund for something like this is a great idea. Yep. And I know a lot of people I actually had some people say on the last call, I want to pay off my debt first or save up for this first and then do it. But let's be realistic about that. How many people are actually going to do it? And say if you could pay off your debt or you could save for something like this, why don't you already have that in savings, right? It's hard. It's impossible when you're on a fixed income. That's why you just got to rip the Band-Aid off, do something like this right away and get out of the situation that you're in, right? Does anybody on the call want me to go through the Sweet Leads program so you guys can see what that is like? Tomorrow is the last day you can sign up for it. So I can run through that for you guys. It'll probably take another 20 minutes for me to go through it, or I can just give you guys that link to the webinar if anybody's interested. Does anyone have questions on the Sweet Leads program? Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, I'm going to let you guys all go enjoy your Saturday. And Sean will be reaching out to each one of you to get you guys the information that you need, maybe replays to this or links to get started. And I look forward to seeing you guys all in the Academy soon and help you guys get out of debt and have lots of financial freedom. So thank you so much, Andrea, and everybody else. And Katika, I appreciate you guys commenting and being so talkative. It's more fun for me that way. So thank you. All right, you guys have a great weekend and Happy New Year, everyone.